Hi there. Hi Jill. Thanks very much for coming in to see me today. I'm sorry it's been a heck of a week for you guys, really.
Yeah.
You're managing to just about hold it together. Okay.
Yeah.
So we met up a couple of days ago and had a chat about how we were going to try and run things over the next few weeks. And I also gave you the emergency healthcare plan and we started going through that together. What I'd quite like today is to, if we can get that properly signed off, if you're happy with it, so at least I can get that sent off to the emergency department and get it around the wards and whatever, so that people know exactly what we've said on that and what the plans are. But obviously, the really important thing is that I make sure that you understand it and are happy with what's written in it, that it makes sense to you.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. So just to kind of summarise then, what we've agreed is that obviously Millie's leukemia has come back, and that we all understand that unfortunately there's really nothing else that we can offer you in terms of treatment for that. But that doesn't mean that we should just stop looking after her. What we need to do is make sure that we look after her properly with the time that she's got left with us, and that we do that in a way that works for you as a family. And so I think what you were very keen to have was for Millie to be at home with you, and I think that's what she was keen to. Are there any things that have occurred to you since we spoke a couple of days ago that were worrying you about that, or that we needed to try and...
Well, I mean, we know how junior doctors are under a lot of pressure, and sometimes we experience, as you know, just occasional lapses when things just haven't been administered when they should have been. And obviously, our biggest concern is that what we've just signed will not be adhered to.
Okay. Okay. I suppose that the important thing is that obviously the plan is to try and keep her at home as much as possible.
Yeah.
And I'd certainly hope that the vast majority of the treatment that she might need to keep her feeling okay, we could do at home. I guess what's going to be really important is that if she did need to come into hospital, that ambulance crews and hospital staff and everybody understood exactly what had been planned.
As long as they're all aware of what we're trying to do.
Now, I can do the best I can in terms of making sure that those forms are in the emergency department and the ambulance control know about it and whatever. But I think that the crucial thing in all of this is that you guys are the one constant in her life, and you will have a copy of the plan.
Yeah.
And the good thing about doing it this way is that once it's signed off properly, it means that you can be showing that to anybody who's involved and saying, look, this is where we are, this is what we've agreed, and if there are any problems with that it's also got contact details for how to get hold of me, or how to get hold of the community nurses or the team in the oncology centre, so that people aren't just making it up as they go along. And my experience is that if we can try and make sure that that's all done correctly, that really the number of times that people will try and deviate from that, because I think they'll all understand that this is an awful time for you, and they'll all be trying desperately hard to make sure that they're doing the best thing for you, and if they've got a piece of paper which says clearly what that is, that comes as a huge relief to them, because they don't have to try and make things up as they go along.
Can I just ask, if we feel differently at some point, if we should think that something else might be better for Millie, and we actually want to change from that and get her back into hospital, can we do that?
Yeah.
I think nothing is written in stone, it never is, and what's really important is that you guys are still able to make decisions that seem right at the time, and that you can look back on and think, yes, we did that for the right reason. Now, sometimes you will feel that you want to do something, but you know in your heart of hearts it's not the right thing to do. And I suppose it's our job always to try and help you work your way through those decisions. But ultimately, if you say, this is what we want to do, we will try and go along with that, and that's difficult. And that might be giving her antibiotics. You know that her bone marrow is not working well now, and she's more likely to have infections, or she might have problems needing a transfusion, for instance. Now, sometimes that might seem the right thing to do, sometimes that might seem the wrong thing to do, and just because we've said something on the Monday doesn't mean that we have to stick with it on the Wednesday if the situation has changed. But as I say, sometimes parents will want to really try every last little thing, and maybe that's not the right thing to do, and it's my job and my team's job to try and help you to work your way through these difficult decisions.
I understand that. I guess for me the most difficult thing is what do I say to her? I mean, she's, you know, yeah.
I think it's a really hard one. What I've noticed in the past is that generally children will only ask questions that they're ready to hear answers to. And I think I definitely wouldn't lie to her, but I definitely wouldn't push her with information that she's not ready for. You may well find that she doesn't ask questions because she's not ready for that. She may not ask the question because she's protecting you and doesn't want to hear hard things for you, and that's going to be something that myself and the community nurses and other people, grandparents, whoever, can sometimes help with. But I think if you wait for her and you give her the opportunity to ask questions, and if she wants to talk with me and if she wants to be involved in the planning that we're doing, well, that's okay, but that'd be quite unusual actually.
Okay.
Is there anything else that was bothering you about the form before we...
I think I just want to get home.
Yeah, no, I think that's very wise, and we'll try and make that happen as fast as we can.
Thank you.
Okay.
Yeah. Thanks.